What if everything you thought you knew about the NBA in 2025 was about to be flipped on its head? From Klay Thompson's unexpected departure to Golden State and his surprising performances since, to teams like the Timberwolves and Miami Heat making moves that could either make or break their seasons, there's so much to unpack. Is Klay really proving Golden State right, or has he still got a lot left to show? The 2025 NBA season is well underway, and the plots that have surfaced so far are, to put it mildly, intriguing. History, feelings, and, of course, the indisputable rivalry between former comrades are all interwoven into the game's plot. After all was said and done, the game itself provided a wealth of information about Klay's current situation and Golden State's future without him. The heartfelt return of Klay Thompson to Golden State. One of the season's most emotional games was definitely Klay Thompson's return to Golden State. Thompson had played a key role in the Warriors' championship success for many years. Klay and Steph, two athletes who had experienced so many memorable moments together, were almost visibly at odds before the game. But the actual game went as planned. Curry put on a show. Draymond was open after the game. Klay showed glimpses of the player he used to be. Golden State guarded home court, and so on. Even though the game was competitive, Klay's emotional investment in it was undeniable. Klay was the only member of the illustrious Big Three who had to find a new home after Golden State informed him that they no longer required his services. Although it appeared like a harsh move at the time, Golden State's choice seems to have been the right one in hindsight. A streaky shooter in a new era, Klay Thompson. The inconsistency that has been Klay Thompson's greatest weakness for the past few seasons has been evident since that game. It has become clear that Klay's performance is no longer as reliable as it formerly was. These streaks are a defining feature of his current professional stage rather than an exception. Klay is playing for the Dallas Mavericks this season, where he is surrounded by elite players like Kyrie Irving and Luka Dončić. Klay's contribution to the Warriors' offensive methods was essential, as they consistently ranked among the top teams in assists. Klay's role, however, has evolved in Dallas. His use rate has drastically decreased, and he is shooting fewer shots than ever before. Klay is now a supporting player rather than the main offensive weapon. However, Golden State's choice to let him go seems to have been the right one because of his age and streakiness, which have forced him into a supporting position. Is there growing concern about the Minnesota Timberwolves? This season, the Timberwolves have been a mystery. They are having trouble finding their rhythm, even though they have one of the most gifted young players in Anthony Edwards. Since Edwards is on his second contract, the Timberwolves run the danger of losing him if they can't put the pieces together. By the end of the contract, he will probably be just entering his prime years. Karl Anthony Towns was Rudy Gobert's previous jogging buddy, and the Timberwolves' decision to trade him away has not gone down well. Gobert's more restrained offensive style and superb defense stand in sharp contrast to Randle's ball-dominant play and serious defensive flaws. The Timberwolves lineup isn't as effective as it could be because of this mismatch. The Timberwolves' propensity to dominate the glass made them one of the league's most formidable defensive teams last season. But they've lost a lot of that defensive identity this year. To exacerbate the situation, Minnesota's offensive approach appears to be out of sync this season due to their excessive reliance on three-point shooting. This season, Anthony Edwards has been outstanding, but his role has grown significantly. He is now among the league's leading scorers and is making an amazing quantity of three-pointers. The Timberwolves' offense has become dependable and uninspired in Towns' absence due to his inability to stretch the floor and dominate inside. The Miami Heat's complacency. Another team going through a difficult time is the Miami Heat. The Heat haven't made many personnel improvements in recent years, despite their ongoing postseason success. They still rely on the core group of players that led their club 5 years ago: Tyler Herro, Bam Adebayo, and Jimmy Butler. Even if these players are still playing well, the roster isn't getting any better, and this complacency could eventually affect the squad. The Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks are two other Eastern teams that have made big roster additions. They may eventually pay a price for this inert strategy, particularly as the Eastern Conference's competition gets more fierce. The Chris Paul effect, an achievement legacy. Regarding his influence on a team, Chris Paul keeps demonstrating that age is nothing more than a number. Paul's leadership and playmaking skills remain vital, even if he is among the league's oldest players. The point guard continues to be one of the league's smartest players, and his ability to motivate his teammates and plan an offense has been evident. Paul leaves behind a legacy of improving the squad wherever he goes. Chris Paul has consistently been able to elevate strong teams into great ones, whether he is playing for the Phoenix Suns, Houston Rockets, or the Spurs. The potential of Wembanyama and the need for equilibrium. In relation to Victor Wembanyama, the 2025 campaign is demonstrating his capacity to rank among the NBA's most dominant players. As a player of his size and skill level, Wembanyama is currently shooting more threes than twos, which is not ideal. His three-point shooting is decent, but it's not the best route to reach his full potential. Big men can spread the floor and dominate inside, as seen by players like Nikola Jokic and Giannis Antetokounmpo. He will undoubtedly be among the league's top players for many years to come if he can accomplish that. East against West. The difference between the Eastern and Western conferences is one of the season's most obvious trends. Given that the conference has twice as many teams with double-digit wins as the East, it appears that players from the West will dominate this season's All-Star game. This disparity is widening, and may widen much farther as the season goes on. An unexpected season. There are going to be a lot of surprising turns in the 2025 NBA season. The NBA is still unpredictable, and the stories that surface will continue to enthrall fans everywhere. If you're loving the breakdowns and hot takes, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on everything happening in the NBA this season. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.